Alston Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
Thanks for joining us tonight on yourliveevent.com. We're getting ready for the state wrestling tournament. It's going to be a great 3 days at the Fargo Dome, and Central Cast, the Region 2 champions, will have a coverage of the individuals, and then we'll have a full play-by-play stream coming up Saturday when they wrestle South Border and beyond on yourliveevent.com. We'll get a chance to talk to some of the wrestlers as we move on, but we'll start with the head coach, Travis Amar. First off, congratulations on you guys winning Region 2, and congratulations on the crop of wrestlers you get to send as individuals. I'm sure you're very proud of what this team has done.
Yeah, for sure. I think we talked at the beginning of the year, and our goal every year is to try and make it as a dual team. That's super important to us. If you ask me which one I'd rather win, it's going to be the duals, because I think it represents the best team, and that's what we try and strive here. We've got some great individuals this year, and that obviously helped us get to that point. But just the way that these guys have progressed throughout the year has been really just unbelievable. I honestly didn't think we had a chance to win the Region Dual tournament at the start of the year, and as we just kept progressing, it became more of a reality. And going in, like I told the guys, I said, hey, we're here for 3 wins. And we're going to get 3 in a row, and we're going to leave here as the dual champs, and we're going to hang a banner in the gym for it. So, and they've bought into that from day one, and, they've worked their tails off to get there.
The course of a season is always getting yourself in any sport ready for the playoffs, ready for those big moments. You wrestled 3 gauntlet matches on Saturday. How much do you feel those close duels, close matches in the season got you to that point?
Oh, I think it's huge. I mean, we try and go down and wrestle Region 1, which is, predominantly the strongest region in the state for Class B. We wrestle Lisbon during the regular season. We wrestle Oaks, EEK, Lemoore, and, we wrestle our region too. And we think that by wrestling those guys, it really gets us prepped for that regional tournament, and we're ready for it. We wrestle a dual tournament, first tournament of the year, so our guys are used to having to go back-to-back matches, in a dual format. And I think it's just how you prep as a coach and making sure that the kids are mentally ready for it. We knew going in against Grafton it was going to be a tough duel. Everybody saw it as, it's the 3-6. Nope, it's not. It's not a typical 3-6. Duels are all about matchups, and, we don't match up great with them, especially with a couple of the bumps that Coach Stahl put in. And, it challenged his kids and it challenged our kids. And I thanked him afterwards. I'm like, hey, thanks for giving our guys matches, because they could have easily forfeited and just said, well, we can't beat this team. But they went out to scrap and win and compete, and that's what our sport needs to have. And, we had some pretty marquee matchups that got our kids ready for the semifinals and for the finals.
Yeah, and you guys beat Carrington ultimately for the championship. You don't get region with them in other sports. Wrestling is, the alignments are so different. And what a fun rivalry that's become between you and Carrington, and how good they've been and where you guys have been around in the last few years.
Yeah, and they've got a top-notch program. They always do. And for the longest time, they were the measuring stick in this region. How you did against Carrington kind of talked about where you matched up as far as statewide. I think there's some teams that have closed that gap, and I think we're one of them. Year in and year out, they're always good, and that's what we try to strive to be. And this year we've dueled them twice and we've beat them twice, and depending on what happens Saturday, we might see them a third time, and I hope the third time is not the charm for them. And I think the way that our guys are wrestling, I think we'll be okay if that matchup happens.
You had some guys returning last year who competed well at state, who placed, and you have some guys this year who've seen improvements. What have been those guys that have put in the work? And I don't want to say it's a surprise, because there's work behind it, but some guys you've really seen the biggest improvements on this season?
Oh, well, I mean, number one is Dylan Sell. I mean, last year as a heavyweight, he was about 245, 250 pounds, and it was a lot of fluff. He wasn't built like he is now. I mean, he went in, he completely transformed himself from the Monday after the state wrestling tournament. He was in the weight room, and he was in there 6-7 days a week, and he lost 30 pounds. But he gained strength like you wouldn't believe. I mean, the first time I wrestled him in the room this year, I couldn't believe I was wrestling the same kid. So, I mean, he's one for sure. And just like we've got our steadies, right? Josiah is always a steady one. Kate OT has been one of our top wrestlers for the last few years. Obviously Deutch is good. We all know that. Brady Peterson is another one, though, that he took some big strides last year, and he took even bigger ones this year. And for him, it was just building that confidence and believing that he could wrestle with the best kids in the state. He's had the talent. He just never believed in himself, and he's finally at that point, and he's seeing the rewards for it. But all the way through, I mean, Stone Thornton's another one. Like, beginning of the year, we didn't know if where he was going to fit into the lineup and stuff. And our 2 dual wins against Carrington, he's come up with 2 huge wins against Jonathan Lura for their team, and like just all the way through our lineup, it when people talk about it, it really is. It's a team thing. It's duel number 1. It were these 4 guys that came up with big wins for us. Duel number 2, it was completely other guys, and then in the championship, it was even different guys. So that's just kind of how our team has rolled, and I think it speaks to like how balanced we are throughout the lineup. But it's been an amazing group to coach, and just how close they are, how they support each other, and I think that's why we've seen probably so much growth from them.
Now, what does it mean to get this group of wrestlers? Obviously, you'll have Thursday, Friday, but Saturday will be that last time to compete as a team. What does it mean for you as their head coach to know you got one more day with this whole group?
For me, it's awesome because, so it gets to be a long season, especially when you're coaching the boys and the girls. But this year has gone just super fast, and it's one of those years where it's like, if you could throw another week or 2 onto the season, I'd gladly appreciate it because it's been so much fun with these kids. So to be able to go in there on Saturday, as a dual team one last time, is phenomenal. And, a lot of people were like, geez, like they were surprised when we won the region title. They're like, well, we kind of thought you were a year away because you only have 1 senior. You got a lot of juniors and sophomores and freshmen. And I said, yeah, that's kind of what we thought too, but we're laying the groundwork for the years to come. And that's what we want. We want our kids to think every year we got a chance to win this thing, no matter how many kids we graduate. And so to get these kids in that dual tournament, to get them ready for their future, and to get one more crack together with everybody, like you couldn't ask for a better way to finish a state tournament, if you ask me.
Last year was the first year that they separated the individual, and then they'll have dual as a separate tournament on Saturday. What does that change for you as a coach? What does it change in the mindset that these are now going to be treated as 2 separate tournaments all in that one weekend?
For me, I was in favor of it just because, I think it really allows you to showcase both pieces of our sport, right? It allows you to showcase the individual piece through Thursday and Friday, where kids just get to focus on just themselves, and what their individual goals are for the year. But then on Saturday, it brings everybody back together, and you get to see that team aspect where kids are wrestling for each other. There's strategy with coaches, bumping this guy, forfeiting here, things like that. And, I just think it shows the ultimate sport for me, right? Because, when you're playing basketball and you try and focus on being an individual and getting your stats, you're considered a ball hog or a black hole and stuff like that, right? If you do that in football, you're just out for the glory, right? And that, to me, that's one of the things that makes this sport so great is you get to go out and show your individualism and really be that person. At the same time, you're helping your team. And then 2 days later, you got to turn around and completely forget about your individual piece, check your ego at the door, and realize that, hey, I might have to go out and be sacrificed here to bump up my teammate so he can get a pin. And to me, you can't ask for anything better than that. You just can't. I mean, because kids are realizing, they're starting to learn like the sacrifice and how much it helps in the grand scheme of things in life. So
I know Saturday seems like ages away because you have the whole individual tournament, but looking at the South Border Mustangs, the team you guys get in the first round, they are a team that was runners-up last year in dual competition. They are a team that they have some big matchup problems for you. What do you see as being some key weight classes for you going into Saturday and for you guys to advance in duels?
For us, it's the way we match up with them. We really got to have the lower weights. I mean, we got to have our lower weight step up and get some pins and stuff like that. They're solid all the way through. They are every year. And, up top, they're really good. So, we need our lower end guys to make sure that they step up and get some wins for us and get some pins for us. Obviously a big matchup that could take place is at 145. You got number 1 versus number 2 in the state. At 132, we got KOT, they got Wolf. That was a 4-point match earlier in the year. There's so many different matchups in there that are so intriguing, and then it comes down to who's wrestling where and how it shakes out. But it'll be it's a tough task for us. They're favored. They should be. They're a great team, but our boys are ready to compete. So we'll see what happens.
All right, Coach. Well, thanks for being with us again. Congratulations on your season so far, and we'll get plenty of chances to talk to you during the state tournament.
You bet. Sounds good. Thanks for covering, Joel.
Yeah, we'll be back with more on YourLiveEvent.com. Welcome back to our Central Cast Wrestling special here on YourLiveEvent.com. They are getting set for their individual competition Thursday and Friday, as well as dual competition against South Border coming up Saturday. You can hear all of that on YourLiveEvent.com. We are talking with Jake Deutch, one of the state qualifiers for the Squirrels this year. First off, Jake, tell us what grade you're in, what weight class you're competing, and who your parents are.
My parents are?
Yep.
My name is Jake Deutch. I wrestle 145. I am a senior. My parents are Joe and Brandy Deutch.
You win the regional. You have a good competition. Talk about that regional championship match. What did you have to do to come away with that win?
It was 0-0 going into the second. I picked down, and I just kind of hit Henry in a move that he didn't expect, and just like that, the match was over. But I know I'll see him again in the semis probably, so it should be another good match between me and Henry.
Last year you were able to place. You finished third. What was your biggest takeaway from your performance individually last year?
I just got to go out and have fun. I can't get too caught up in the moment because then that causes me to wrestle bad. But when I go out and have fun, I know I can be pretty good.
You are one of the few athletes. You play basketball as well. You're getting ready for a game tonight here at time of recording, but you played football. You got a little banged up in football, kind of delayed your start to wrestling. You don't have that many matches under your belt this season. What have you done to kind of compensate for that?
Lots of therapy, medicine, all that stuff. That's helped deal with the pain, but wrestling's in my blood. I've wrestled my whole life, so it just really never leaves me, so it's always kind of been there.
You had your chance to make your decision. Next year you'll be at Valley City State. You'll be playing for the Vikings football program. Great coaching staff. I had my experience around them, but a lot of decision-making for you into the fall, knowing that you had a full season in front of you. Was it kind of a load off your shoulders a little bit once you made that decision?
Yeah, because I could go back to focusing on the two sports that I'm in, which is already challenging as it is, and not having colleges always asking you questions, stuff like that. So when I picked Valley, it did lift a lot of weight off my shoulders.
Balancing basketball, balancing wrestling, balancing your academics. Where do you find time to just be on your own and do your own thing?
I have a lot of time, usually at night and all that stuff. But I have a lot of fun playing basketball and doing wrestling. They're two very different sports. Basketball's more team oriented, and wrestling's more individual oriented. And I have fun doing both.
You're going to wrestle a wrestler from Henry Scranton in the first round of the individual competition. Do you know anything about your first round opponent for individuals, or are you just going in just kind of focusing on yourself?
I just go in. I just go and try to have fun, and if I can do that, I feel like I can come out on top.
Marshall Lindgren will likely be your opponent. Now, there's so much is going to happen between then and now, but he is in your weight class for South Border, who you guys will have in duels. I know you've seen him this season. You probably want to see him one more time before you get there, meaning that you had success in the bracket, but he's been tough competition all year. What do you expect out of him?
I expect to see him in the finals, hopefully, and hopefully I can make the match go a little bit better than last time. He kind of kicked my butt last time, but maybe I'll give him a little more run for his money.
What are the expectations? What are your goals going into the state tournament for yourself, and what are your team goals?
For both, I just want to go out and have fun. It's my senior year. It's going to be my last tournament ever. My biggest goal is just to have fun. No regrets.
All right, thanks, Jake Deutch, and good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks for being with us on our wrestling special on YourLiveEvent.com. We'll have audio coverage of the individual wrestling tournament coming up Thursday, Friday. Full play-by-play coverage of the dual tournament as well, with a broadcast for the Lisbon Broncos as well as the Central Cast Squirrels. Garrett Haugen joining us here on our special. First off, why don't you tell us what weight class you compete in, what grade you're in, and just tell us who your parents are.
I am a junior. I am 195 weight class. My parents are Marlon and Andrew Haugen.
You finish in third place. That gives you the opportunity to third place in regions gives you the opportunity to go on and wrestle at state. You had some experience last year, but what was different for you coming into this year, and maybe what a little bit more do you know from last experience that you used this year?
Well, coming into this year, I had same goals, wanted to get to state and then hopefully play us at state, and just kept working at that every single day. And then I just learned to keep trusting myself, don't let my mind get in the way of me wrestling, and just wrestle like I know how to.
Back-to-back weekends, you have team success the weekend before you guys go on to duels, and you get the victory that puts the team on to state. Individually, I'm sure you're very happy. How much extra excitement do you get knowing that your teammates are going to be there competing as a team one last time this season?
Oh, it's always fun knowing that our team's going to be there, just supporting each other, helping each other on, and just being there and having the best time ever.
Daniel Schumacher, you will compete against, I believe you have him in the individual, and you will have a chance to wrestle him in dual competition. What is it like having that meeting with him at the state tournament?
Well, I just know he's a tough wrestler. You got to show up and compete like I know how, and it's going to be a fun first match to have.
And what are your hopeful goals coming into individual, and what are the goals for the team?
Well, for me going individual, I want to be on the podium this year. And then for team, we want to be in the top half of the podium for duels.
All right. Well, thanks for being with us. Good luck.
Okay, thank you.
Joining us on our Central Cast Wrestling Special, Jaden Johnson from the Central Cast Squirrels. He wrestles at 138. Third place finish for you in the regional dual or individual competition. Congratulations on that third place finish and going on to state. I'm sure it's probably your goal going into the season.
Yeah. Thank you. It was a pretty big wins there on Saturday, and now going to the state tournament. It's what I've been working towards all season, so it's going to be fun. Yep.
And what's it like getting back-to-back Saturdays? First, you guys beat Carrington the Saturday before, get the whole team onto state. You finish third. You win your final match at regional individual to go on to state. What's it like to have just back-to-back big weekends after spending a whole season working hard to get to that point?
Oh, it was so fun going out there Saturday, watching Grady's match, and where just went back and forth just to get us the win. My heart was pounding a little bit, and then to go in the next week, I was a little nervous still because you had to win a few to go to state, and then I was able to take care of business. So it was really fun. Good 2 weeks for us, and I bet a lot of people had fun those weeks.
Last year you got a chance to compete at the state tournament. What would you say are the couple biggest lessons you took away from that go through last year?
So last year I had my first match, and it was a win, and that just felt so good to get my first state win. And I got a lot of film on that. It was pretty good. And then the other two, I had a couple other harder, difficult matches, but I was able to see what they were able to do and what people from state do that go there every year. So I was able to take in a few things and learn what I need to do for the next year to go out and compete, and now I'm here. So I'll be able to give it all I got.
You'll be done with the individual tournament by the time duels rolls around, when you guys will wrestle against a very good South Border team. But do you find that mentally it's maybe easier to have that? It used to be the mix, now it's two separate things. Do you think that's a little bit easy for you to be focused on yourself, and then you get the opportunity to focus on what you need to do for the team?
Yeah, I think that is, because then you can just focus on individuals, just focus on your match, and then go out there for duels, and then you'll be able to focus on your match for duels the next day. So, yeah, I think it will be easier.
I talked to a few of your teammates about this. You guys haven't wrestled South Border in a duel, and I know that seems so far away, that Saturday competition, but you guys have had some success individually against them in various tournaments throughout the year. I think they were here for the Letterman tournament, was one of them where you saw them. Do you think that adds confidence for you guys going into duels, knowing that you've at least seen those guys and had success, and more than likely some of your guys will see them in the tournament, individual tournament?
Yeah, so I think just wrestling them and getting familiar with what they do would help with those tournaments, yeah.
What are your big goals individually, and what is the goal for you guys as a team on Saturday?
Just to go out and compete. If you go out there and you go 100%, the result will form itself. So just go out there and give it all you got.
All right, thank you. Good luck.
All right, thank you.
We're talking with 220-pounder Ryan Stafford, who is with us here on our Central Cast Wrestling Special. Don't forget, you can hear full audio coverage of the individual tournament as well as dual competition with the stream for Lisbon and Central Cast. We'll have all that for you at yourliveevent.com. First off, congratulations. You get to qualify individually to move on to the state tournament. What's that feeling like?
It's great. I've been working my butt off all year to get here. I started last year and just I feel like I've accomplished a lot.
Last year you did compete in the state tournament. You didn't place, but what was that experience like for you, and what did that do to drive you coming into this year?
Well, it was the first time I've ever really competed like that, where it's just been me and not like a full team. It was thrilling to have people watch and cheer me on. So it really gave me something to look forward to next year, being new to the sport. So it was great.
And what's it like to, Thursday and Friday, you're going to be able to compete on your own. And then Saturday, regardless of how those 2 days go, you will have a matchup against a South Border on Saturday. What's it like to know that all 3 days you're going to have a stake in this tournament and a chance to experience it?
It feels great. I mean, I'm looking forward to competing on my own, but what I'm really looking forward to is competing with my team, because I'm really close with these guys, and we're pretty close, and I think we can really go pretty far in the tournament.
What are your goals as an individual competing Thursday and Friday, and what is the Squirrels team? What are the goals that you have as a whole in duels?
Whole in duels, I'd say for duels, we want to get as far as we can go. If we can go all the way, then I'd say we'd go all the way. We're just looking to compete and do our best, and honestly, that's the same for me too.
All right, well, thank you for being with us here, and good luck.
Yeah, thanks.
Welcome back to our wrestling special on yourliveevent.com. Anthony Houle, 182-pounder for the Squirrels, with us. First off, why don't you tell us how you placed this last weekend in the region individual tournament, and just tell us who your parents are as well.
I placed second. My parents are Vicky and Tony Houle.
Last year, you competed at the state tournament, didn't place last year, but what did you get from that experience last year to be wrestling at the Fargo Dome?
Well, I made it to the second day, and I got experience to see how it is and how the second day is, and yeah.
This year, Thursday, Friday is going to be much like last year. Thursday, Friday individual. Saturday will be duels. You guys will be wrestling against the South Border Mustangs. But knowing that Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, you're going to have stake in all days of this wrestling tournament, what's that feeling like?
It's feeling good, yeah.
Ashton Peterson will be your competition. I believe you have him individual, and then he will more than likely be your competition going on into duels on Saturday. He's been tough all year. What do you know about him, and what are some things you're preparing for with him?
Well, I haven't really seen him all year very much, so it's going to be just a regular old match. Just going to go out there and compete.
Does it make it easier for you not having seen him and maybe not overthinking or overlooking at a few things and just going in and doing what you know you're good at?
Yeah, it goes both ways. I mean, it's good to not know too much about him, and it's good to know not at all anything about him, so you can just go out there and wrestle. Just get your mind right.
Sure, and what are your goals for Thursday, Friday, and what are the goals that you have for yourself and for your teammates on Saturday?
Well, for my teammates, I just want everyone to do their best and hopefully win all their matches that they can. And for me, I'm hoping to place really high this year for individuals.
All right, well, good luck here at State, and thanks for being with us.
Yep.
This is our wrestling special on yourliveevent.com. The Central Cast Squirrels, the Region 2 champions, they'll be competing in dual competition Saturday. We'll have a full audio stream of that for you at yourliveevent.com. And the individuals will be competing Thursday and Friday. We'll have a stream of that coverage for you as well. Kate Olson-Tinglestead is with us here on our program. First off, tell us what weight class you compete in, and just let us know who your parents are.
I wrestle 132, and my parents are Jeff and Kelly Olson-Tinglestead.
You finished second this last weekend in the individual competition. What was that run through the tournament like for you, and what were some things you felt you did really well, and what did you feel you could improve on in that championship match?
I think I did my first two matches really good, and then I think I should have just watched a little more film for that championship match, but otherwise I think it went pretty good.
Last year you competed at state. You were able to place last year. What did that do for your off season and for your mindset coming into this year, knowing that you had some success wrestling all days at the tournament last year?
Well, placing fifth really didn't go great in my mind for me. I really wanted to get top 3, so that was definitely a goal over the summer, was to get top 3. So I was really working towards that all summer, training with a couple people. So a couple different trainers were helping me all summer long. So yeah.
You guys had a successful season on the gridiron in the fall. Obviously, you fell short of your goal of going on to play at the Fargo Dome, but a lot of these same guys competing with you here in wrestling, a lot of these same guys on the basketball court. But how much do you feel that success in the fall has also helped push you guys here in the winter?
Well, I think football really helped us a lot, honestly. It was a great family building team that football team was. It was really great. So I think that's carried into this wrestling team, and it's built a really good culture around the whole school, not just throughout the boys football and wrestling and girls wrestling and all that. So
there's a couple wrestlers from South Border who you may see, Matthew Wolf or Tristan Lepp, that you could see in duels. Those two have been interchanged all year in their lineup. And then you'll have a different opponent coming in for the individual tournament. How much time, knowing what this tournament is like and the time frame, how much time do you put in learning your opponents, or is it just a matter of just going in and knowing what your strengths are?
Well, we go in, I always go in with a good mindset and in my studying of all their moves and whatever else. I study a lot of film on Huddle, and just, I'm really looking for, like, Jaron Frank, who I have first round. I'm already starting my film on him, so we'll be working all week on what to do against him and then planning on from there. So
what is your goal individually these next couple days at state, and what is the big goal for you guys as a whole in duels on Saturday?
Individually, I'd really like to be in the finals on Friday, but top 3 is my starting goal in the season. So yeah, that would be really nice to get top 3. And then duels, I think we match up all right against South Border, but if we do end up losing to them, then I think we'll have Carrington, and I think that'll be a good duel again, though. So,
and you guys beating Carrington just a few weeks ago to win the Region 2 dual championship. They're a good team as well. Is it a nice little rival for you guys anytime you can wrestle Carrington?
Yeah, we have an ongoing bet that we play basketball every time we beat them. So.
All right, well, maybe you get that opportunity here coming up this weekend. Thanks for stopping by and joining us, and good luck Thursday, Friday, and good luck Saturday.
All right, thank you.
With us is Brady Peterson, 113-pounder for the Central Cass Squirrels, as we continue on with our wrestling special. First off, congratulations. You get a chance to go on to the individual wrestling tournament, the state wrestling tournament. How do you feel that you did this last weekend in individuals? I know you placed, obviously qualified, but what do you think you did really well this last weekend, and what do you know you want to shore up in a few days before state?
I think that I was a little emotionally drained that day. I was really nervous. I came ready to wrestle, but I probably could have been a little bit more ready. But I think that I really went through, persevered through all the trouble that I had that day. I didn't want to place third that day. I wanted to place first or second, but I mean, we get what we take, and we're just going to have to go from there for state and take back whatever mistakes that we had.
Last year, you competed at the state tournament. What did you think was the biggest lesson you got last year wrestling at the Fargo Dome?
Dealing with adversity. There's so many things that happen in the Fargo Dome that you can't control. You can't control fans. You can't control when you're going to wrestle. There's a lot of variables you can't control, and you need to learn that once you forget all about that control and just learn that the only things you can control is yourself and the other person's body on the mat, then I'm pretty sure that you just feel a different kind of freedom.
How much of a conversation about that, controlling your own elements, do you feel that you have with your teammates, with Coach Lamar and your coaches, and then how much of a message is that amongst you guys in the wrestling room about that?
I think that is a big message this year. A lot of people are when they get into tight situations, when they get into unfavorable situations that really put a lot of pressure on. I think that they will crack, but we need to learn and get better as a team, especially with the younger guys, that even if we get into unfavorable positions, we need to find a way out. We need to find a positive way to get through it.
Pitch Hager from Velva will be your opponent in the individual tournament day number 1 on Thursday. How much research have you done on him, or how far ahead are you looking at least for who you're going to compete in individually?
I like to think of it as taking it one wrestler at a time. I haven't really looked much into the wrestler, but I think if I just have a clear mind and just do what I'm going to do, then it's going to go really well.
Brody Michelson from South Border is your potential matchup when you go into dual competition on Saturday. Of course, again, all that can change with so much in front of us, but South Border, you guys haven't dueled them, but you've crossed paths with them individually throughout the course of this year. Do you think that gives you guys some confidence going into the Saturday leg of this tournament?
Yeah, I do believe so. South Border is a good opponent, but I do believe with our team, and if we wrestle like how we do individually or in the practice room, that we should be able to take them down easily.
What are your biggest goals individually for Thursday and Friday, and what's the big goal for you guys as a team on Saturday?
My biggest goal is just to go out there and have fun, always wrestling my match like it's going to be my last match, because I don't know when I'm going to ever wrestle again, if I'll have the chance to wrestle again, and I just want to get on that podium. I just want to finish that last match winning, because it don't matter if it's 7th, 5th, 3rd, or 1st. I just want to finish out winning. And I believe that should be the same goal for all of my teammates that are placing individually or our team, that we need to win our last match, our last duel with a win.
What's it going to be like knowing that there's a couple seniors on this team? Things could always change, even with the wrestlers expected to be back next year, but knowing that Saturday for sure you guys are guaranteed one last day to compete as a team. What's that mean to you?
We got to give those seniors everything we got. I mean, they're probably never going to wrestle again. Even if they do, it's not going to be the same. It's not going to be a fuss. So we got to give everything we got. We got to leave it all on the mat, because we're not going to have, another 9 months till wrestling season starts again. So even with people in the off season working, it's not going to be the same without those seniors.
All right, well, hopefully you guys find that success you're looking for. Thanks for joining us here. Good luck Thursday, Friday, and good luck Saturday.
All right, thank you for having me.
Jalen Baumgartner with us here on YourLiveEvent.com. He'll be competing with his team coming up this Saturday as part of a dual competition at the state wrestling tournament, which we'll have full play-by-play on YourLiveEvent.com. First off, congratulations. You guys get a chance to go on to state. A win for Carrington in dual competition. They've been your rivals on the wrestling mat for a long time, probably before you even were a student at Central Cass. But what was it like to get that win and get that spot as a team for state?
It felt great, and just having the whole team together and knowing we were all there, and it happened at the same time, or all of us together, it felt great.
Knowing that you get this chance, there's a few seniors on this team, and again, a lot can happen between the end of the wrestling season and next wrestling season, but every team is different, has different characters, different parts. Knowing that you guys guaranteed this shot to compete as a team in dual at least one more time, 2 more times this year, what's that feeling like, and what does that mean to you?
It feels great because, I didn't make it to individuals, but knowing that I'm with this group and we're going to make it to state, and knowing with the group that I won't get that same chance next year with the seniors, just feels great, and we're connected more.
You will get a chance to be there, even though not an individual competition, to be around the state wrestling tournament, which is an amazing experience for anyone who's never been a part as a fan or a competitor. But what are you going to try to take away Thursday, Friday as being a spectator? I know you're going to be supporting your teammates, but what are you hoping to learn on those first 2 days?
I'm just going to kind of watch my weight class and see how they do things, and see what all the people I didn't wrestle, what they do, and try to learn from them.
What were your things that you left this last weekend in the individual tournament? Again, you didn't unfortunately get a chance to go on individually, but what do you think you learned that's going to help you in the future for your chance? You got a few more years left for a chance to go to state.
What I think I learned is just like the placement and all that, and where to be, the situations. And when we practiced Friday night and we just went over drills and placement, and timing and all that. So that's what I think I learned more from Saturday.
What are your goals for your team coming up in dual competition against South Border? What do you hope you guys can accomplish on Saturday?
Saturday, I hope we can accomplish at least beat South Border. They're not a big rival, but they're tough against us. They're tough against Lisbon. I just hope to beat them and then move on, go from there.
All right. Well, good luck to you guys coming up here this weekend, and thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
We're visiting with members of the Central Cass Squirrels. They are getting ready for the state wrestling tournament. Caden is with us, a member of the Central Cass wrestling team. Why don't you tell us what weight class you compete in and who your parents are, and just a little bit about yourself.
I compete in the 145 weight class, and my parents are Jason and Susan Graver. I'm a first-year wrestler, and that's really it, I guess.
145, you got a good wrestler in that weight class on your team. What's the relationship like with you guys, and what do you guys do day in and day out to make each other better?
Well, we don't really practice together. He practices with other guys that have been wrestling for a long time for better matchups to make him better.
What led you to become a wrestler, and what are the things you enjoy about it so far?
I used to be a basketball player. I stopped liking basketball, and I wanted to get better at football too, in the linebacker positions. And I heard wrestling would be really good for that, so I joined wrestling. I really like the team and the people on it. They're really nice, and they're just fun to be around.
What were some of the biggest changes you saw? Obviously, wrestling and basketball, they're different sports, but the muscle groups, the training, all of that is different. Conditioning. What was the first things that kind of gave you a little bit of shock when you transitioned sports?
The practices, they're a lot of work compared to what I thought basketball practices were. It's a lot of the wrestling is way different than the basketball, because in basketball you're kind of just shooting around and it's not as much physical work, I'd say.
You guys are dual champions, Region 2 dual champions. You guys are sending a good crop of wrestlers individually going on to the state wrestling tournament. What are you proud of individually for yourself so far this season in terms of your individual accomplishments and growth, and what are you most proud of what this team has done so far?
I'd say I've grown a lot this year, and I've really improved everything for my first year. As the team, it's cool to see us be going to state, and yeah.
What are you looking forward to the most from an experience at the state wrestling tournament at the Fargo Dome?
To have a lot of place high or something.
What would you say are the biggest goals for you guys Saturday as a team in that dual competition? You got South Border, a predominantly tough team every year, and I know you're coming in as an alternate for the team. But what do you hope is the end result for you guys when it comes to duels?
I hope we can beat a few of these good teams. We're gonna have to wrestle really well, and just be able to.
What do you do as an alternate in this team to help when it comes to the next few days at state? What are some things that you feel that you're going to have to do or when called upon to help out with this team, even if you don't get into competition, but to help out make the team better? What are some things that you're going to have to do?
I'm going to have to be a good practice partner. I practice with our 138, and I'm going to have to do good against him in practice so he is ready for some stuff, and then also warm up with a few people, and I'm going to have to get them warmed up so they're ready to wrestle.
All right, well, thanks for stopping by and joining us here, and good luck to you guys coming up here at state.
Thank you.
Welcome back to YourLiveEvent.com. We are joined by Grady Link from the Central Cass Squirrels wrestling team. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, what weight class you compete in, and tell us who your parents are as well.
I normally wrestle at 126, and my parents are Steve and Stacy Link.
You guys get a chance to qualify as a team in dual. You win the Region 2 dual competition. What was that feeling like for you when you guys get that win against Carrington?
It felt really great, just a big team effort, A lot of people stepped up, especially some of the young guys, some of us freshmen, and it's just a really cool victory.
It was really tightly contested for you guys. Every match that you guys wrestled came down to a few weight classes, those key weight classes. You stole a few matches along the way as well, but what was the biggest takeaway from you in those close dual competitions?
I don't know. I think we learned a lot. A lot of people stepped up, 170, we got a pin there, and that was really crucial. And obviously at 26, that big match at the end was very big. But, everywhere else we kind of just went out there and, we knew we had a pretty good shot at winning, and we just went out there and stuck it to them.
You won't be competing in the individual tournament Thursday, Friday, but you will get a chance to be at the Fargo Dome. You will get a chance to be around the state wrestling tournament, which is, I know, one of my favorite events of the year of all the sports I cover. But what do you hope to kind of soak in and learn days 1 and day 2 where you're not competing but you're supporting your teammates and you're seeing some of the best in the state?
Yeah, just learning from a lot of the older guys, especially even kids at my weight class that are from other schools, just watching them compete and how they wrestle, learning a lot. I've wrestled a long time, but I'm still only a freshman, and I have plenty to learn. So that'll be nice to see how everyone else is doing,
Every team is different for various reasons. The year is different. The components are different. Your competition's different. A lot of things are different. But what can you say that sums up this year's team, and what are some things that you're going to try to soak in a little bit extra and cherish the next 3 days at state?
I think all of us we're good buddies, outside of the wrestling room, we all know each other. We work really well with each other in practice, a lot of us are really good teammates to each other, and we're kind of a family, honestly, and it's really nice to have, everyone's supporting each other, all the parents, not just my parents supporting me, but the whole team parents, we have a great fan section, and it's really nice.
Talking to a lot of your teammates through the course of this program here, a lot of them have said that you guys are just, everyone is so close, everyone is so supportive. What do you think starts that for you guys? What spurs that kind of environment and that closeness?
I think it was just us all being friends, our parents are friends, we all just coming together for one common goal, and that's to wrestle. Wins, losses, everyone's very supportive, and, don't really care what weight, how old you are, we're just out there supporting each other.
What are your biggest goals in the matches you're going to have to wrestle on Saturday, and what do you hope that you guys accomplish in the dual tournament?
For me personally, I really just want to go out there and compete, not really wins and losses, I'm going to have some tough matches, but I really just want to go out there, try my hardest, see how many points I can score, and I don't know, maybe pull out a win here and there. But I think as a team, coming away with a couple victories just during the tournament would be really nice. Haven't been to state duels in a little bit. I've never been to state duels as a part of the team, so this would be pretty cool to just be there.
All right, well, good luck to you here on Saturday, and good luck to your team. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Welcome back to YourLiveEvent.com. We're meeting with members of the Central Cass wrestling team. They're getting ready. Individual competition Thursday. Friday, we'll have audio coverage on YourLiveEvent.com. Audio coverage with full play-by-play of the dual competition. We'll have a stream for Lisbon, a stream for Central Cass. All that can be found at YourLiveEvent.com. Stone Thornton with us here on our show. Why don't you tell us, first tell us a little bit about yourself, who your parents are, what grade you're in, and what weight class you compete in.
I have been wrestling for a long time now. I wrestle 170 pounds. I am a 10th grader. My parents are Nick Thornton and Jennifer Thornton. My dad wrestled in high school. He still helps out in the room quite a bit. Yeah, I just love this team, and I love I love coming to practice every day and working hard.
What is it about wrestling families? It seems like everyone, their fathers wrestled, their siblings wrestle. Is it something that it just builds that tradition within families that keeps the next generation of wrestlers coming around?
I'd say it definitely helps. Wrestling's a hard sport to get into if you don't have somebody that knows what they're doing in your corner at all times. My dad helped me a lot getting used to the varsity scene, and even coming from elementary to junior high scene. Like, it's a big jump every single year, so he always helps me, and good to know he's always in my corner.
You guys, a couple weeks ago, you win the Region 2 dual championship. You win a close one against Carrington. Actually, all three for you guys seem to be really close competition. But what makes this version of the Central Cass Squirrels wrestling team so special and so different, do you think?
I think it's just the chemistry. I mean, we got some new guys, but we're always cheering each other on, win or lose. We hang out outside of practice all the time, so we're always together. We're just one big family, and like I said, I love my team. I love my teammates, and we always are joking around with each other, but we're serious when we need to be, and we get the job done.
On Thursday and Friday, you'll get a chance to just soak in 2 days of the state wrestling tournament. You'll see the best in your weight class compete, the best in all weight classes. What do you hope to learn Thursday, Friday in the individual tournament as being a member there to support your team?
It's always a good experience to go and watch the state tournament. You get to learn new moves. It's an incredible atmosphere. I love how it's always set up here. Very organized. You get to see the best wrestlers in the state go at it, and I hope my team does good.
Saturday, one last chance for you guys to compete as a team against First South Border. Guaranteed at least 2 matches on Saturday. The first will be South Border, runners-up last year. They lost a close one to Lisbon in the dual championship last year. But what do you expect out of South Border, and what is going to be your biggest role on Saturday to help you guys come away with the best success?
They got some tough guys. They're a very tough team, of course. Takes a lot to be in the finals of state duels. Like, they got a couple of very good wrestlers spread out all throughout their weight. So, but we're region champs for a reason, and we're going to go there and we're going to compete and hopefully come away with a dub.
All right. Well, good luck for you guys coming up here the next few days, and thanks for being with us.
All right. Thank you.
Marcus has joined us on our Central Cass Squirrels Wrestling Special on yourliveevent.com. We're getting you set up for what's going to be a fun 3 days at the state wrestling tournament. Individual competition Thursday, Friday, dual competition on Saturday. First, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, what grade you're in, what weight class you compete in, and who your parents are.
My name is Marcus. I wrestle 160. I'm in 10th grade, and my parents are Cindy and Larry Bifford.
2 weeks ago, you guys get a chance to beat Carrington for the dual championship, knowing that you would get a chance to be together as a whole team for another, at least one more Saturday of this season. What was that feeling like for you guys?
During the duel, it was probably the most electrifying thing I've ever been in for wrestling. The crowd, ups and downs. We knew there was going to be ups, downs. Last match, I think I had a heart attack, and then once it was all done, it was just like the best thing ever. It was just great.
Talking with your teammates throughout the course of this special, and they talk about a closeness and a friendship and just a family that you guys feel like you are. Who are some guys that you look onto this team who have just big leadership spots, and who are some guys that you've become close with?
Some big leaders are Jake Deutch, our senior. He's a great wrestler. He does basketball too. He's just he works hard and everything. Some people I've got close to, Thornton, our 170. I mean, I wrestle him every day, talk to him. Even our 106 pounder, talk to him every day, love him. It's just a family.
How much are you guys pushing each other? I know it's kind of friendly rivals that you guys have amongst your weight classes inside the wrestling room. How much do you guys work to have the best practice and push each other?
We work as hard as we can. If someone's slacking, we get on them. There's leaders in the room and there's followers, and we strive to be the best, and we've come very far from the beginning of the year.
State wrestling tournament is a great experience for anyone to come watch as a spectator and compete in. You get 3 days to be there. What are the things that you hope to learn the most from your days being at the state wrestling tournament?
Just soak it through and look at how good some people are, like Bowden Greenlee and some of them. They're going NDSU. Just look at how anyone can be that. It's North Dakota, and how you only have 4 years of it, so live it up.
South Border will be the competition on Saturday in duels. They were runners-up last year. They have some good wrestlers back this year. What is it going to take for you guys to, when it comes to dual competition, get that win in round one?
We're going to have to fight off our backs, have tough matches. We're going to have to get pins. We're going to try not to let up pins, and we're just going to fight and battle.
All right. Well, thanks for stopping by and joining us, and good luck to you guys coming up.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome back to YourLiveEvent.com. We are highlighting the Central Cass Squirrels as they get ready for the state wrestling tournament. Drew Erbach is with us. He finished 4th this last weekend to qualify for state. First off, congratulations on an individual qualification. What does it mean for you for this chance to compete in the individual tournament at state?
It means a lot for me. I mean, I came into the tournament, not expecting much. I was a 6th seed and I don't know, yeah.
The week before, you guys win as a team to go on to state duels. That week of practice and preparation for individuals, how much do you think that added to maybe your fire and fueled you to say, going into individuals, you know what, I'm a 6th seed, here's a chance for me to prove a lot of people and prove to myself that I can move on?
Yeah, that practice helped a lot. I started wrestling Brady and Joey, and it just kind of helped me prepare for the individual tournament.
How much do you guys take pride in, I think maybe not the nicer way to put it, but you guys beat up on each other in the wrestling room and make each other better. How much do you take pride on that you guys are competing against each other in the wrestling room, but you know ultimately it's for the best?
Yeah, it's
You guys have some fun making it, kind of working each other over a little bit. Going back to the dual competition, 3 closely fought matches for you guys from Grafton all the way to the end with Carrington. What was that like to compete and as well as to witness and cheer on your teammates? Was it definitely maybe one of the big highlights of your career so far?
Yeah, it was pretty cool just to be a part of the team and just watch all the matches and take out the win.
You will be paired up against Alvy Henderson in the first round for Northern Lights of the individual tournament. He is a tough competition. He is one of the top in your weight class. What do you know about him, or do you feel that your strategies may be better just going in and focusing on what you're going to be able to do?
My goal is just to not really get worked up about it. Just go in there, just be confident, and try to not worry about it, yeah.
And then down the road in dual competition, you'll Joseph Keller in your weight class, you might get a chance to wrestle again and again. We could see some bumps along the way, but have you had a chance to meet him over the course of the season? I know you guys have been in a lot of tournaments with South Border.
Yeah, I wrestled him once. I lost to him then, but a lot has changed since then. I think I've improved quite a bit.
And South Border has been a team. They're not in your region. They're Region 1 state runners-up last year, but they've been in a lot of these individual tournaments. You've faced Keller. A lot of your teammates have faced various South Border wrestlers. Do you feel that gives you a little bit of confidence going into Saturday for dual competition?
Yeah, I'd say so.
What are your biggest goals individually, and what are your goals for your team in this coming state wrestling tournament?
I'd say my goal for individual is just to place and just have fun. And as a dual team, just, do as best we can and try to win it all.
I keep using the term seniors when I talk about your team, but it's senior. You just have one. You guys a little bit of a younger team, but what's it like to get this chance to compete Saturday in dual competition one last time with your senior and this team as it is?
Well, I think it's pretty cool that we have a young team, like you said, and just for Jake's sake, just try to take it home for him.
All right, well, thanks for stopping by here. Good luck individually and good luck as a team, and we'll see you out there at state.
Thank you.
We are back on yourliveevent.com. We'll have great coverage coming up the next few days with the state wrestling tournament, individual Thursday, Friday, dual competition on Saturday. And you can find all the links on yourliveevent.com. We're continuing to visit with some members of this Central Cass wrestling team. I want you to tell us your name, grade, weight class, and who your parents are, a little bit about yourself.
So Colson Stahl, I'm a freshman, and I'm a wrestler at 152. Go to school here, right? I wrestle, and then also play football and do track. I don't know, I'm just first year wrestling.
And what do you enjoy about your other sports? What do you enjoy about wrestling? What makes it so different and appealing for you to be a part of this team?
Well, I like wrestling because it's really a good it's a really team sport. Even though it's more of an individual, you would think, but there's a lot of team stuff that goes on, and you really feel a part of the team. And I really like how much work it takes, in that you get see results and stuff like that.
And the course of this season, you've seen some competition in duels, and you've seen some competition throughout the course of the year. But your role right now has been asked upon to be a big part in the wrestling room and work with some of these guys, the weight class that you're in right now. What do you guys learn from each other in practice, and how much pride do you take maybe a little bit on pushing each other and maybe getting those small victories against your teammates, knowing that it's making both of you better?
Well, when you watch some other guys wrestle, like the better guys, you'll pick up a couple moves here and there, and then what they do good, and then you try to do it, and if it works out, you keep doing it, and that's really what you just pick up from them, and how if they mess up on a move, they'll always work their way back from it, and then you just learn a lot of stuff like that.
You guys 2 weeks ago, you beat Carrington. You go on as a team to state. What did that mean for you, knowing that you would get a ticket on to the dual tournament? It's been a few years for this girls team, but what did that mean to you?
It meant that our hard work paid off at the end of the season. Hard work paid off, and especially because we lost to Carrington. No, it was a close match to Carrington, and beating them again just felt good, and going to state, always a good feeling.
What's it like being a part of that rivalry with Carrington? You don't really see them too much in other sports, at least when it comes to regional stuff. But what's it like having a nice rivalry with a team like Carrington, especially? They've had a lot of success the last few years.
Well, it's rewarding when you beat them, and especially because they're good competition. So it can go really back and forth or either way.
3 days of the state wrestling tournament at the Fargo Dome. What are the big things that you're looking forward to the most?
I'm looking forward to seeing my teammates compete, wrestle in the duels, and then teammates competing and just looking for them to do good, and just stuff like that.
What's your big goal for you guys on Saturday in the team competition?
Our big goal is to obviously win it all, and take home the dual championship.
All right, well, thanks for stopping by and joining us. Good luck to you and your teams coming up here at the Fargo Dome.
Thank you.